It's Wednesday and you're tuned in to News 5. I'm Sabrina Daly. Here's what we're following tonight. The Public Service Union gears up for industrial action against the government of Belize. Today, union members made a bold move, blocking the entrance to the Philip Golson International Airport at midday, sending a strong message from the country's busiest travel hub. Meanwhile, Senator Chris Coyi, one of the government's lead negotiators, weighs in on the tone of his letter to the joint unions about that proposed 4% salary increase. We'll also take you to San Jose Socots, where a desperate search continues for 13-year-old Lizzie Suntakun, who vanished from school on Monday. And in economic news, Belize is strengthening regional ties with Trinidad and Tobago through a new trade mission aimed at boosting Caribbean collaboration. All that and more coming up in just 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. News 5 starts now.
newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Welcome back. The clock is ticking and pressure is building. Labor Minister Florencio Marin Jr. is back in Belize after a 2-week working trip to Geneva. But he's returned to a growing crisis. The Public Service Union has officially declared a trade dispute with the government, and they're making sure their voices are heard. Just last week, public officers marched through the streets of Belmopan, heading straight to the Labor Office to demand action. That was on June 9th. And now a 21-day countdown to possible industrial action is underway. So, what's at stake for the Briceño administration? According to PSU President Dean Flowers, the Minister of Labor is aware of the union's position.
He acknowledged receiving that trade dispute, and he informed us that in accordance with the law, he will now be considering that trade dispute based on the grounds on which it was declared. He has 21 days to do that, and within that 21 days, he's supposed to either identify a solution or set up a tribunal to bring the parties together to find a solution. After 21 days, the Public Service Union and all its essential services units attached to the Public Service Union can engage in full-fledged industrial action, including strike action. And so I want to make clear that with the declaration of that trade dispute, it simply gives the government an opportunity to know that even the essential services are now at liberty to engage in any form of industrial action that they choose to. And that would be primarily the financial sector, BTSD, customs, immigration, the petroleum sector as well, the civil aviation sector, the fire department. Those are essential services. We have a strategic plan which involves strategic ministries, and we will disrupt services every step of the way once the Briceño administration continues with the disrespect that they're doing. Today, I have a 2-day visit in the Ladyville area to engage public officers, because public officers are also, it's important that we engage with those public officers. We've been doing that countrywide. We've been saying to our branch chairs, reach out to your public officers, do your departmental visits, sensitize them on the issues, and let them know that they voted for this trade dispute.
It was a tense afternoon at the Philip Golson International Airport, where members of the Public Service Union showed up to protest right at the country's busiest travel hub. With signs in hand and voices raised, PSU members made their presence known right where visitors were arriving. But things didn't stay quiet for long. Union President Dean Flowers was blocked from entering the terminal, his vehicle booted, and police presence ramped up. Still, the union stood firm, using the high traffic location to spotlight their growing frustration with the Briceño administration, especially over that long-promised 8.5% salary increase. Here's News 5's Isani Cayetano with the following story.
This afternoon, the Public Service Union took their protest to one of the country's busiest gateways, the Philip Golson International Airport.
I was requested to do some office visit at the PGIA. I am carrying out my legal responsibility as president of this union. It is not my fault that the Briceño administration is afraid for the visitors of this country to be informed of the oppressive administration that he is administering.
It was a peaceful but pointed demonstration aimed at making sure their message reaches far beyond the picket lines. As visitors moved through the terminals, PSU members made their presence known, using the high traffic location to spotlight their ongoing concerns with the government.
Their tourist dollars is going in the pockets of a concession company who is exploiting a contract that was recently renewed. He needs to say that to the tourists. He needs to justify that. No, he can deny me from pick up my people there because he sees me as a threat. The biggest threat is cabinet. That is where the deals are being brokered.
With an increase in police presence at the PGIA, Flowers and other union members were blocked from entering the airport. Nonetheless, It was a bold move aimed at drawing national and international attention to their ongoing trade dispute with the government. With signs in hand and voices raised, the union is making it clear their demands aren't going anywhere.
Our president had a meeting, and we are here to show our support to our president.
So the president of the PSU has had to park outside of the barrier, as you guys can see. He's being disbarred from entering.
Yes, they stopped me too. They tried to stop me, and then I told them about unlawful detention, and the senior police officers had them open the barrier.
In the parking lot nearby, a small but determined group of public officers stood their ground, posters in hand, message loud and clear. The Public Service Union is ramping up pressure on the Briceño administration, frustrated over stalled negotiations and that elusive 8.5% salary increase.
As you can see, my poster, it reflects of what exactly is happening now. We are harassing the trade unionists, and that has become an important thing in Belize. When now we start to harass the trade unionists. It's important for Belize to recognize that we don't have freedom of speech anymore. We don't have freedom of expression. We don't have freedom of congregating. Today was geared towards letting the tourists understand what's going on in Belize. We welcome you. We welcome all the tourists in the country. But as such, we have a lot of things that are going on. We have multiple police presence here. I'm not sure why we have so many police presence here right now, but that is what is happening right now.
Things escalated quickly outside Terminal 1 this afternoon. Members of the Public Service Union took their demonstration a step further, blocking the entrance to the terminal in a bold show of resistance. A boot was placed on a vehicle belonging to PSU President Dean Flowers, but his supporters did not flinch.
I come pick up some people and they lock my vehicle. How the hell they want to lock my vehicle and I not utilize them parking lot? Then they want to look for me and tell me that I have to go upstairs, go pay $50 until they make them unlock my vehicle. What do they think? That either the tourists, when they charge for $5 exit and exploit for their own benefit? No, man.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
The Public Service Union is standing firm, and they're not standing alone. PSU President Dean Flowers says the union is staying the course in its fight for fairness. And now they're getting backup. Utility unions and other affiliates of the NTUCB are joining forces under the Save Belize campaign, showing solidarity with public officers and teachers. But Flowers isn't just talking about salaries. He's also raising serious questions about a decades-old airport concession deal and a sharp hike in departure taxes. According to him, it's time to hold leaders accountable.
We will stay the course. We have no other option but stay the course. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the utility unions who have reached out to the joint unions, who has sent their solidarity out to the union publicly, who have met consistently over the past 2 weeks with the unions, and who will join that Save Belize campaign with the other affiliates of the NTUCB. And I want to acknowledge them this morning for that. Belize, we have an opportunity here, not simply to get equity in the public service for teachers and public officers. We have an opportunity here to hold our elected leaders accountable. We want to speak about the airport authority, the concession company. It seems that we forget that concession, that 30-year concession, which we couldn't see, expired 2 years ago. Was it renewed? And for how long was it renewed? Word is 99 years. These are people who are not even putting in a cent in the airport because they're charging the departure tax now at $45 US, overpricing the industry. So when the Minister of Tourism said 2 days ago that would they get one drop, of course we are getting a drop. Because we have people who fleece the airport for 30 years without putting in a cent and now raising the departure tax to fund the expansion.
Coming up, unions and government trade blame in heated standoff. More when we return.
Measles is a virus that is highly infectious and spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. It often starts with a fever, cough, runny nose, and red, watery eyes, followed by a rash that spreads all over the body. Measles can cause serious complications. But here's the good news. Measles is preventable. The safest and most effective way to protect your child is through vaccination. The MMR vaccine is safe and available at your nearest health centers and clinics. Let's keep our families and communities safe. Get vaccinated. Stay protected. Brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in partnership with PAHO and UNICEF.
Stop wasting your time and money. Come to Publix, where every dollar counts. So why shop anywhere else? Find the freshest fruits and vegetables handpicked for your family. Need something quick and delicious? Our ready-made rotisserie chicken is hot and ready to go. And with Publix rewards, you'll save big while shopping for everything you love and need. Publix, fresh, affordable, for you.
Serving Belizean families for 27 years.
My name is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town, which cost me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. It's fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
Electricity Limited is pleased to announce the holding of its 2024 annual general meeting at the BEL corporate headquarters on 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway, Belize de Belize at 3 p.m. on Thursday, June 19, 2025. For registration purposes, shareholders are advised to bring along a valid identification, such as a social security card. Shareholders who are unable to attend may choose, and we encourage you to exercise this right, to appoint your proxy, or you can simply appoint the company's CEO or the corporate secretary as your proxy to represent you at the AGM. Proxy forms can be submitted at the BEL corporate headquarters on 2.5 miles Philip Wilson Highway or via email at shares@bel.com.bz no later than 5 p.m. on June 17, 2025. For more information or assistance, contact BEL's Securities Officer at 227-0954, extension 1512.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025. Where summer comes alive!
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. today. For quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
It's Court's 30th anniversary celebration with the best deals and offers you will not find anywhere else for the entire month of June. Get up to 40% off selected categories each week. Shop now and get up to 30% off store-wide on all credit purchases. All purchases give you a chance to win a full room makeover in December. Visit your nearest Court store today or shop at Courts.com. Celebrate 30 with Courts and save big this June. Courts, bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
The standoff continues between the government of Belize and the joint union negotiating team, with no resolution in sight over the union's demand for an 8.5% salary increase for public service workers. The government says it simply can't afford to pay that amount up front this fiscal year, but it's offering to phase it in over 3 years. That proposal flatly rejected by union members, who are also raising red flags about a new 5% pension contribution for incoming public officers starting in October. Just last week, union leaders marched to the Ministry of Labor in Belmopan, formally declaring a trade dispute. So, what's next? We spoke with the government negotiator, Senator Christopher Koyi, to find out if a new offer is on the table.
Well, I think that's a decision for the cabinet and prime minister, but ultimately we can only do what we can afford. So the finances, reviewing the finances, looking at what makes economic sense, what makes financial sense, not just for today, but for tomorrow and further into the future, is what we have to have account of before any adjustments can be made. What is clear is that we can afford what was proposed in the second proposal.
Was that, as the teachers read it, that it was including the 4% linked to the pension changes and so pension reform?
I think the pension reform propositions, that's been on the table, that's been ongoing, a part of the ongoing discussions between the government and the joint unions for a couple of years now. There's been quite a bit of analysis. But what is absolutely clear, certainly what I've seen, is there has been miscommunication, if not misinformation, being provided to the public by the joint unions so far as what the reform proposals constitute. There is no proposition that all existing public officers and teachers will immediately have to pay 5% contribution. That's totally inaccurate. what is in fact the case and what is being put on as the proposition is an incremental move from non-contributory to a contributory pension plan. There is no non-contributory pension plan for public officers in the entirety of the Caribbean and Latin America. It's a total anomaly that it continues to exist in Belize. But at the same time, I think the government recognizes that it has to be a process. There has to be a process, both in relation to contribution rate, in relation to retirement age, and in relation to the replacement rate.
What started as a series of talks between the unions and the government has now turned into a war of words, with both sides pointing fingers. Earlier this month, former Education Minister Francis Fonseca took a swipe at the unions, saying their ongoing protests could cost them credibility, even among their own supporters. But the unions aren't backing down. They say the government's latest letter wasn't exactly written in the spirit of compromise. So, where do things stand now? We spoke with government negotiator Senator Christopher Koyi to get his perspective.
I'm not sure about the tone. What I would say is we've had one meeting between the Cabinet Subcommittee for Union Consultation and the Joint Unions Negotiating Team, and that meeting was very cordial. We had high expectations coming out of that meeting. It is unfortunate that that meeting did not yield an agreement, but there was every effort made in that meeting to reach something that was reasonable, satisfactory, and affordable.
What about the argument that they've made, though, that pension discussion started way before the request of a salary increase? So the fact that it's being tied now to the salary increase being made contingent to that, they're opposed to that.
Well, I'm not sure about the logic on that one, because if that's the case, then maybe the pension should have been introduced first. So, why?
You guys were talking pension reform for years ago. That salary increase request happened after the CEOs got their increase.
Right. That's why there is an interest in getting the pension reform done.
Yeah, but you're making it contingent too in your letter.
No, I think what the letter speaks to is a process similar like what is proposed on the salary increase. What is, I think, needs to be clarified is that the government agreed to the entirety of the salary increase, the full 8.5%. Government fully agreed to the 8.5% salary increase, just that it be introduced in a phased manner, in a way that the government or the fiscal finances can afford. So it's not that there is any effort to try and not reach some resolution. There is, but and in largely in terms that has been requested, but it can only be done in a way that we can afford.
Just when it seemed like progress might finally be on the horizon, another delay. The Joint Union Negotiating Team and the Government of Belize were set to meet today to iron out key details of the long-awaited collective bargaining agreement on top of the ongoing salary dispute. But that meeting postponed. So what happened? Government negotiator Christopher Koyi says there's a reason for the delay, and we've got the details coming up.
I think that meeting actually had to do with the collective bargaining agreement framework. So the view is that the matter between the unions and the government in relation to salary increase should be resolved, and then we move forward into the collective bargaining agreement discussions.
Call them to a meeting, the government?
The subcommittee meets with the instructions of Cabinet. Cabinet is likely to meet on Tuesday upcoming next week, and once that meeting is held, I'm sure that Cabinet will give marching orders to the subcommittee, and a meeting will probably follow from that.
After the break, no leads. 48 hours after child disappears from school. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
From humble beginnings to the nation's #1 poultry provider, join Quality Poultry Products as we celebrate the journey with a grand motorcade through the Old Capitol. This Saturday, June 21st at 11 a.m. There will be music, giveaways, and fun for the entire family all along the route. We start at Coney Drive, Princess Margaret Drive, and across the Belcan Bridge, straight down Central American Boulevard, down Mahogany Street, then going left into Western Avenue, another left into George Price Highway by Lord Ridge, up to the Hand Monument by Twins Gas Station, then turning right into Central American Boulevard, down Cesar Ridge Road, over Yabra Bridge, East Collect Canal, then all the way down Vernon Street by Fish Market Bridge, down Vernon Street right into Youth for the Future Drive, over Bell China Bridge, and finally landing at the foot of the bridge beside Quality Poultry Products North Front Street branch. Come out, Belize, and celebrate 50 years of quality.
Planning a trip to Belize? Here's how to complete your I Declare Arrival form in 5 easy steps. Step 1. Visit belizetravel.immigration.gov.bz. Step 2. Select the appropriate forms for arrivals. Choose Arriving to Belize. Step 3. Provide your origin trip details, including your departure airport and country of residence. Step 4. Carefully complete the immigration form. Add dependents if necessary. Declare baggage, currency, and merchandise, and confirm your entries are correct. Step 5. Download your completed form and take a screenshot of your QR code and reference ID to present to the immigration officer. Thank you for using Belize iTravel. Safe journey.
Veracidad, imparcialidad.
Hemos estado haciendo el trabajo con la organización
y tus noticias en español.
Están en aguas beliceñas, entonces esta bandera se queda aquí.
Sintoniza Canal 5 cada viernes a las 7 de la noche.
Tenemos que resolver dos grandes problemas de este país.
Su voz importa, su acción cuenta.
Transfusión sanguínea, elementos que indican un deterioro evidente del estado de salud.
Somos Noticiero 5 semanal.
Perdió la vida en un heroico intento de proteger a su hermano. El Tribunal de Magistrados de la ciudad de Belice se paralizó. La policía está investigando 2 asesinatos separados.
Tu fuente de información.
St. Catherine has changed the game. We've gone cashless with Digital Wallet. Now grabbing a bite in the cafeteria is a whole new experience. Who needs cash? We just pay with Digital Wallet. And all our accounts are linked directly to our ID cards. It's quick, safe, and super easy. Download and try DigiWallet today. Set trends. Keep it cashless with DigiWallet.
Let us help you to empower your school with DigiWallet. Streamline payments, elevate efficiency.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
KTV The Remix Season 7 is back, and we're looking for the next superstar.
If you got the voice, you got what it takes to own the stage,
then step up and show us what you've got at the official KTV The Remix Season 7 audition.
Right here at the GBM Studios on Coney Drive, the 21st and the 22nd of June, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Whether you're a powerhouse vocalist, a smooth crooner, or a soulful performer,
your turn to shine under the lights right here to remix your future.
The winner walks away with $10,000, prizes, and bragging rights as Belize's next top talent.
Only the best make it to the list. Will it be you? KTV The Remix Season 7. It's bigger.
It's bolder.
It's awesome. Let the remix begin.
It's been over 24 hours since 13-year-old Lizzie Suntekun vanished from her school compound in San Jose Socots, and the search is growing more urgent by the hour. With no leads and no sign of the young girl, her family is clinging to hope, while residents of the village have rallied together, forming search parties to help bring her home. Lizzie, who lives in Melchor, Guatemala with her mother, crosses the border daily with her younger siblings to attend school in her father's village. But what started as a routine school day took a troubling turn when she reportedly left the compound during lunch, telling friends she was going with an aunt. Since then, nothing. News 5's Paul Lopez traveled west today to find out more. Here's his report.
It's now been 2 days since 13-year-old Lizzie Suntekun vanished from the San Jose Roman Catholic Primary School, and concern is growing. According to the school's principal, Jenry Castanaza, Lizzie was part of the school's lunchtime feeding program and had no reason to leave the compound during the lunch hour. But somehow she did and hasn't been seen since. As the hours tick by, the search intensifies and questions mount. How did she slip away, and where could she be?
Lizzie, who is a part of our feeding program, sat in school. She had lunch, and we usually keep the back gate closed during this time since we only have one school warden. She waited until 12:45 when we opened the gate, since other students are returning from home, and that was the time when she walked out of the school compound and left. Upon us noticing that she was missing, Miss Karina Chulin, who is the school teacher, the class teacher, sorry, informed me that she was not in class. And then immediately we reported that to the parents because it is not something normal that she would go missing since she is part of the program and she does not leave to have lunch anywhere else.
School officials say Lizzie left through a back gate that's usually unsupervised during lunch, telling a friend she was going with an aunt, but she never returned. Now her family and authorities are zeroing in on a white pickup truck that witnesses say she was seen entering just outside the school compound. As the hours pass, her loved ones grew more desperate, hoping for any sign that Lizzie is safe.
The principal went to the classroom to ask if you haven't seen Lizzie to the classmates, and one girl say, Lizzie told me that at 12:45 her aunt will come and get her. But she don't have no aunt. I don't know why she say that. I don't know if there's a person who take her or from now on, it have 2 days already, and we haven't known nothing over somebody take or we don't know what.
What have you all done over the last 2 days in your search for her?
In that day, we went straight to Corosalito because there is a person that have a pickup, white pickup. And we speak to the lady. She say that she don't have no children going in Center 5. And she told us about her friend that live at the back. But when we reached there, the house was closed and plenty dogs. We don't go. We have informed the police. I know that they say a CIB was speaking to the mother like 2 hours and a half. And then they called the father, speaking to him again. And from now on, the police, nobody has done nothing.
Lizzie lives in Melchor de Mencos, Guatemala with her mom. She and her 2 siblings traveled across the border daily with the assistance of their dad in the village to attend school. A small group of village residents led by Armando Cocom formed a search party today in support of the family.
Like how you said, it has struck the community. I could guarantee that the community is mourning right now. They're suffering there with the family. And any assistance given to them will be really appreciated. It's very sad that this is happening in our beautiful village. It's not the first time I'm doing this. I have helped other families in regards of this matter because it's a serious matter. I have kids, like I said, and I won't like or appreciate something like that happen to someone of my kids, right? So it's something really serious, like how I said. We need to take this and try to assist the families because it's a serious matter, and we should be working together and gathering some information here in the village to assist the family in this matter.
The San Jose RC school compound is not equipped with surveillance camera. According to Principal Castaneza, monitoring 60 children participating in the feeding program is a challenge for the kitchen staff, a handful of teachers who stay behind for lunch, and a single school warden. Castaneza says the entire school is shocked and saddened by Liz's disappearance, while acknowledging the need for increased security on the compound. There are reports of a white vehicle. Did anybody from the school, perhaps one of your staff members, saw her enter a white vehicle before leaving?
Unfortunately, no one saw her leaving. The only reports that I have received is from the classmate who told me that that the people that were waiting on her were in a white vehicle. So according to the child, it was a male, a female, and a child in that vehicle.
We ask the people all over Belize. So all Belize, make they help us. If somebody see her, please call me. My number is 661-558-555.
Tonight, the search continues and the questions only grow. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
When we return, Belize strengthened trade ties with Trinidad and Tobago.
Fellow Belizeans, today we join the world in observing World Environment Day 2025 under the urgent theme, Ending Plastic Pollution. This theme calls on each of us to recognize the critical threat that plastic pollution poses to our environment, our health, and our economy. In Belize, our beautiful Caribbean Sea, rivers, forests, and communities are under pressure from plastic waste that takes hundreds of years to break down, polluting our ecosystems and endangering wildlife. But this is a challenge we can't overcome together. The government of Belize, through my Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change, and Solid Waste Management, remains committed to strengthening policies that reduce single-use plastics, promoting sustainable alternatives, and supporting community-driven solutions. But we need everyone, businesses, schools, families, and individuals to be part of the solution. Let us all make conscious choices. Refuse single-use plastics, support local eco-friendly businesses, and advocate for clean, plastic-free environments in our homes and communities. Together, we can beat plastic pollution and protect our jewel for generations to come. Happy World Environment Day 2025.
While you cannot prevent accidents from happening, you can take steps to protect yourself from the financial burden that can result from an accident. R&G Life Insurance Personal Accident Plan is the solution for you. With our personal accident plan, you are covered anywhere in the world. This plan pays out a benefit for any dismemberment, as the benefit is paid directly to you. It can also cover the need for medical artificial appliances such as wheelchair, crutches, hearing aid, and prosthetics. In the event life is lost due to an accident, the personal accident plan pays out the insured amount to the beneficiaries. Now, you can live with the confidence that we have you covered. Let the R&G Life team assist you in planning for your future. Call us today at 221-5143 or visit our website at rfglife.com. R&G Life Insurance, the life company.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
KTV The Remix Season 7 is back, and we're looking for the next superstar.
If you've got the voice, and you've got what it takes to own the stage,
then step up and show us what you've got at the official KTV The Remix Season 7 audition.
Right here at the GBM Studios on Coney Drive, the 21st and the 22nd of June, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Whether you're a powerhouse vocalist, a smooth crooner, or a soulful performer,
your turn to shine under the lights right here to remix your future.
The winner walks away with $10,000, prizes, and bragging rights as Belize's next top talents.
Only the best make it to the list. Will it be you? KTV The Remix Season 7. It's bigger.
It's bolder.
It's awesome. Let the remix begin.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025. Where summer comes alive!
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Belize is opening a new chapter in regional trade, and it starts with a handshake. This morning, business leaders from Belize and Trinidad and Tobago came together to break down trade barriers and build new opportunities. The two nations kicked off a 3-day trade mission right here in Belize City, aiming to strengthen ties and boost economic growth. News 5's Brittany Gordon has the story from the Fort George Hotel.
With global trade winds shifting, Belize is looking closer to home for stronger economic ties. As U.S. tariffs continue to ripple through small economies, regional collaboration is more important than ever. That's why the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry has teamed up with its Trinidad and Tobago counterpart to launch a 3-day trade mission right here in Belize City. The goal is to break down barriers and unlock new opportunities across the Caribbean. Vashta Gayadeen, CEO of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber, shared insights at today's kickoff session.
So this event, we started planning for the event more than 3 months ago, and it was guided by market intelligence and the request of our members. The idea behind this is to expand, to help our members expand into new markets that they feel that they could make a difference. So we are focusing, we have a small delegation of just roughly 10 companies from the agriculture, services, as well as creative industries that are looking to expand into the Belizean market. So we are here for roughly 3 days, and it's more so where we are also looking for joint ventures. So it's sustainable trade within the region, focusing on the CARICOM countries.
Belize and Trinidad and Tobago are taking their trade ties to the next level. At today's event, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry signed a major agreement with its Trinidadian counterpart, one that promises to break down trade barriers and open the flow of market information between the two nations. Minister of State Christopher Kayi says that the partnership builds on a strong foundation, but there's still plenty of room to grow.
I think we exported, I think the number was around $97 million last year to Trinidad, and we import quite a bit less, but the opportunity is there for increased trade among both countries.
Also attending the event was the Belize Coalition of Service Providers, which provided technical expertise about the local market to the visiting delegation. The president of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce shares her goals for the 3-day mission.
following this opening ceremony, we're actually going to go into our business-to-business meetings, where through our counterpart, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, they were able to partner linkages with business persons who would be paired with our delegates and further discussions on where we see trade and investment opportunities. What we're looking for as an outcome of this mission is to solidify the CARICOM and single market and economy, where we could forge alliances and promote regional and economic trade between our islands and within CARICOM, because we really believe, as your minister said, that there is greater resilience in shared and collaborations between the countries within CARICOM.
In today's unpredictable global economy, small nations like Belize are learning that strength lies in unity. That's why forging strong regional alliances isn't just smart, it's essential. These partnerships help build resilience, ensuring that when global shocks hit, countries like ours can weather the storm and keep moving forward. It's all about creating a Caribbean community that thrives together.
We have engaged in ventures before, but this time it's different because it's structured. Also today you will see us sign in what we call a trade and business alliance agreement with the Belizean Coalition of Services Providers and the Belize Chamber of Commerce. Why are we signing these agreements? These agreements are meant to deepen trade between both countries and to provide a structure. So it's not just an agreement that would sit on a shelf, but the idea behind it is to have an action plan where we have deliverables over the course of the next 3 to 5 years.
According to Chase Pierre, there is no time frame in the agreement. She believes that through mutual participation, it will remain an enduring partnership.
Today, it is perpetual. It is not just, as we said in our speeches, a sign-in, a ceremonial sign-in. It is an intention to forge relationships. And we believe that the two business organizations in Belize, which are represented by the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Belize Services, will be able to afford their members and our members the opportunities for those partnerships. The whole idea behind the agreements will be to provide market access. We will be providing market access information and market intelligence information in Trinidad and Tobago. We will be looking for business partners with our counterparts in Belize and linking them with those counterparts.
Over the course of the trade mission, the nations will also discuss the path forward to creating more bold partnerships that can inspire other regional partners. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The meeting was attended by members of Belize's agriculture, service, and trade sectors. Longtime employee Gerald Henry held a press conference this morning, claiming he's the target of what he calls a sustained attack on his credibility and seniority, allegedly at the hands of his own department head. This comes just a week after Henry and former public officer Dorothy Obermeyer staged a protest outside the Ministry of Public Service, accusing supervisors of using the public service regulations as a weapon against staff. Now, in response to a press release from the Auditor General's office labeling them as audit risks, Henry is firing back, saying the real issue is a controversial code of ethics he believes is not only illegal, but weaker than existing regulations. So, what's really going on behind the scenes? We've got the details.
While I was working in the office of the Auditor General, there was this so-called code of ethics that was forced on technical officers to sign. Once this document was not signed, you were not assigned an audit task. Reason stated was that you place the audit at risk. First of all, this document that they are forcing officers to sign is, one, an international document that has absolutely nothing to do with GOB, the Government of Belize, and the Office of the Auditor General. Two, the Government of Belize never signed onto this document. According to a letter from the Office of the Auditor General, it was adopted by a former Auditor General upon attending a Caribbean Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions, COROSI, event where he signed and agreed to adopt the International Standards for Supreme Audit Institutions, ISIS. The government of Belize was never aware of an Auditor General adopted and ratified an international standard was never tabled in the House of Representatives. Without that, the Office of the Auditor General still continues to force the officers to sign this document, or else you'll be pushed aside or no work is assigned to you.
Imagine showing up to work every day, but with no tasks, no responsibilities, and no explanation. That's exactly what Gerald Henry and Dorothy Obermeyer say happened to them after being barred from conducting audits. Despite still receiving their salaries, they claim they were left in professional limbo for months. Henry says things only got worse. His performance appraisals took a nosedive, and every attempt to raise the alarm from the Ministry of Public Service to the Prime Minister himself has gone unanswered. So, what's really going on behind closed doors? We're digging into the details.
Because we refused to sign a totally illegal and unconstitutional document, we were not given any task to do for practically 2.5 years. Right? And during the 2.5 years that we were instructed not to do any work whatsoever, we were still required to submit weekly reports. This is the weekly report that we were asked to complete, right? So as you can see, it has for completed activities for the entire week. And of course, the activity was not to do anything. So it was not applicable for us because you said not to do any work, right? So there were no activities, and the only activity was on Friday because the report was due on a Friday. So the only activity that we had in this report was to prepare and submit the weekly report. Then they asked us to give ongoing activities, which again, you told me not to do anything, so there's no ongoing activity. Again, that is not applicable. And then they asked us to do challenges and setbacks to doing nothing. Wow, I didn't have any challenge or setback to do nothing at all, and so that was not applicable, right? I'm not showing this front piece because there's another part to it that asks us to also state what we plan to do the following week, which again is not applicable. You instructed me not to do any work.
There's a shift happening inside the Auditor General's department, and it's all about ethics. According to Henry, many longtime auditors who were around more than a decade ago refused to sign on to the department's code of ethics. Most of them have since moved on. But here's the twist. Newer employees have signed the code without fully understanding what they agreed to.
The reason why we didn't sign it is because in addition to what we showed there, no, there was an additional part to it, and we have been trying to get our hands back on it, and I don't think we have been able to get it. Or you have it, sis, where it speaks to discipline, right? And that part was the dangerous part for us. You understand? Because that part basically said that the office can discipline us at any time, for any reason that they want, and not only that, but we could be disciplined by the Institute of Chartered Accountants, which is a private body. So we could not sign on to something like that. You understand? And so that is the reason why, because that was added to the Code of Ethics from the international organization. And so that was not supposed to be there. If that was not there, we would have signed. Let me tell you that, let me say it that way. We would have signed, no problem at all.
The newer persons, they have signed on to the code of ethics.
Yes, because they don't know better. They don't know that it contains that part and how dangerous it is. They went to all lengths to have us sign this thing now. They went and they spent a lot of money. We went to retreats, they had parties, and at the end of those events, oh, we have the code of ethics that we want you to sign. Right? We remain steadfast no matter how they brought it. We said no. We won't sign it because it's a dangerous document for us to sign, and so we refuse to sign.
A review of an online copy of the Code of Ethics shows that disciplinary matters are coordinated by the Public Service Commission. We will continue to follow. Up next, Belize Cancer Society setting new goals to fight cancer.
How can a precision-engineered and sustainably made tire change your world? A tire that gives you strength and safety when you need it most.
What we learn on the track, we innovate
For the road, bringing next-level quality and reliability to every drive. At GT, we believe our tires can deeply improve the driving experience for each and every one of us, whatever our goals. Enjoy driving. GT Tire.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with the Reamer Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025. Where summer comes alive!
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Caraza, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
To reform in public transportation just hit a speed bump. The Belizean Bus Association is pushing back hard against a bold new plan from Transport Minister Dr. Louis Sabané, who's proposing a single unified national bus company. But not everyone's ready to hop on board. Bus operators say the idea sounds more like a fantasy than a feasible fix. And BBA President Thomas Shaw made that crystal clear in his comments earlier today. Here's what he had to say.
First of all, they're saying no due to the fact that it's a concept and there's no final preparation, there's no legislation. Whatever he's saying, what he wants the operators needs to be done, what needs to be done by the operators. But in reality, if you're serious about change, what the operators are looking at, that they have been in this industry for many, many years, some operators over 15, 20 years. And you didn't ask the operators if they want to exit the business. You didn't ask them if they want to sell their franchise. You're telling them now that we're going to open this company, we're going to value your assets, and if you want to join the company, you can put that back into shares. What the operators are looking at right now is that if some operators only have one run, now if you buy into shares, you know that goes by dividend. One of the big questions was, how will the dividends be shared? Will it be monthly? Will it be annually? Will it be quarterly? And these are some of the concerns with the operators. These are some of the concerns because One operator said, you know, Minister, I had a dream. And my dream was to pass on my legacy to my kids. Now, if this thing takes place, their dreams are shattered.
Fighting cancer takes more than medicine. It takes a plan, a purpose, and a passionate community. Today, the Belize Cancer Society held its annual general meeting, celebrating milestones and confronting the challenges of the past year. But the big news? The launch of a bold 5-year plan aimed at boosting early diagnosis and building stronger international partnerships. President Kim Simplice Barrow says it's all about saving lives and strengthening support for those in the fight against cancer. Here's more from today's event.
We really focused on what we have accomplished and where we want to go, which really ties into our strategic plan for the next 5 years. And one of the main focus that we want to do is we really want to focus on prevention and healthy living. It's so very important that we start targeting or looking at our younger generations and educating them on living healthier lives. We know that when you're diagnosed with cancer at the early stage, it's easily treatable than when you're diagnosed at a late stage. And so that is our focus. We, of course, want to continue our partnerships with the Government of Belize, Ministry of Health and Wellness. We want to continue our partnerships with all our organizations that we work with, and of course with the community. It's important that we continue to access not just local partnerships, but international partnerships. Why? Because with international partnerships, we get access to training, we get access to equipment, we get access to helping our healthcare providers be more effective and efficient in diagnosing cancer and in the quickness of getting our cancer patients to care. We continue with our navigation objective, which the Cancer Society, of course, is an education institution. We provide education, we provide a navigation process for cancer patients so that we all know that when we're diagnosed with cancer, it's overwhelming. And so whatever we can do to help a cancer patient navigate this process, it is part of our mission.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.